like old times a little bit. No, but I'm just excited for him to have an opportunity to go out there and play a game that he loves. He has embraced this role better than you could ever anticipate, even though you knew he would embrace it because he's such a good dude and a great teammate. But excited for him to just go compete. He's going through his process like he normally does, whether he be the backup or the starter, and expect him to go play well. Probably ran Carson too much. I didn't realize that was the most runs he had ever had, so I was a little embarrassed by that. But no, I mean it was fun. I mean it's always fun doing that, but I mean it was cool. Still working through that process.
If you are, how comfortable will that be for you now, having done it a couple times and having Garoppolo as the quarterback?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I've called plays, for a few years and stuff like that. Never called it in San Francisco, so it would be my first time technically with Jimmy if that were the case. But yeah, I mean, you get to game day, you just go. So it's like old hat.
How consistent has been games for Cooper? The production hasn't been.
Yeah, I know this last one. I thought he was excellent. I thought he ran some great routes. Obviously, he sprung us on that first play of the drive off that bench on the right side where he ended up getting explosive. Really good job by him and Matthew. But no, I think he's been playing good football. I mean, just from an overall standpoint, not a lot of guys have been getting a ton of opportunities in the past game, and for one reason or another. But it's been good team wins. It's been hard wins, but really proud of how the guys have fought and found ways. We obviously know we got things to clean up, but Cooper's right where we need him to be. Yeah, it'd probably be a better question for him because he's just been the pro since I've been here for 2 years, and from what I heard from his rookie year. So, whatever he did, do it again. But, I mean, there's some luck into that too, right? I mean, a lot of these guys train their butts off and do what they have to do to stay healthy, and, injuries happen in this game. I mean, there's a lot of variables, and there's a lot of big humans hitting each other each and every play. So, but whatever he did obviously worked this year, and, he just has to continue to stay strong to his process, which I know he will. He's made the right stuff. Yeah, be good to see if he gets a little bit bigger workload, and just obviously when you're the number 2 guy and Kyron's taking the bulk of the reps compared to any team, sometimes you don't get into the rhythm. You just more touches for a back, usually more better. So it'll just be good if he does get those opportunities to see him kind of work through a drive, 2 drives in a row, and see what he can do. Yeah, he's been so. One, he's handled his process of making sure he's prepared because he knows he's always one play away. That wasn't surprising at all. It wasn't surprising how cool of a backup he's been for Matthew, but it's probably understated how great he has been for him in terms of very supportive. Probably his biggest fan on the sideline, and I really mean that. And that's really cool. He respects the way Matthew goes about his process. He respects, just kind of the knowledge that Matthew has, because that is very rare. And so it's just been cool to watch those two grow and into their friendship and in that room. And like I said, I know Jimmy's got Matthew's back, and I know Matthew feels the same way about Jimmy. So pretty cool relationship they got. Yeah, I think what he told you is true. I think he's probably had his hands in a few more position groups, players, units, whatever than previous paths. All I can speak is for the 2 years I've been here. But Sean's been excellent in terms of what this team has needed, whether it be verbally or just his presence. He is willing to adapt and adjust like any great leader would each and every single week. they need a little bit more tough love, he'll give it to them. If they need a little bit more arm around it, he'll give it to them. And that's a sign of, I mean, he's always been a great leader. He's had to do it in a different way this year, and he's adapted to what this team has needed. It's been really cool to watch. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say there's been any shuffling of responsibilities or anything like that. I mean, it's just, again, we go about our process, and we stick to the book per se and adjust by the week when needed for what our guys need, because ultimately whatever we put on that piece of paper, it's just words. The actions of what those plays are come down to the guys' mindsets and the execution of those plays are plays. A lot of people run the same plays. So he's tapped into these guys to go out and really fight each and every week. I know the defenses live by the motto, just snap it one more time, and man, how much has that come alive, particularly in the last month. So it's been cool, and Sean gets a ton of credit. I think Shula gets a ton of credit. I think the rest of the defensive coaches, I think this whole staff does, but most importantly, it's these players. And it's been great to watch them grow as a group, as a unit, as a team, and really have a brotherhood.
For you, how did you sort of get through the 1 and 4 to where you are now and helping the players get through that tough time?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, you got to stay true to yourself as a coach, as a person, and stay steady with these guys, and again, figure out what each player needs, each position group, each unit. So again, we're going to adjust based off of what they need, but I think coaching, particularly an individual coach, is a small part. Again, it's those guys. They're the ones that get the credit for this, and I truly mean, they're the ones out there having to go do it and put their body on the line for the guy next to them, and they've done that, and they put themselves in this position. Still don't think we've played our best football yet, particularly on offense, but we get a chance to continue to play more days, however many more days. Not worried about it. I just know we have one more week that is guaranteed to us, and we'll prepare and play the best we can. Yeah, he's a tough dude. He throws his body out there. He's just getting more and more comfortable, playing in this league. So he's smart. He picks it up. He's in a great room, as I've always said, with Yarbs, and then obviously being able to look up to Cooper. So no, he's made it the right stuff. His role will, likely just kind of increase as he just gets more and more acclimated to this unit and NFL football in general.
Yeah, just really happy for him. It just shows how much he influences and impacts the game, and having 4.5 sacks and still making the Pro Bowl is just a huge credit to him. He has the respect of his peers and coaches, and it's just good to see. We know in this building how much he impacts the game, and it's just good to see he gets that recognition around the league. He's a true 3-down player, and he's continued to get better and better playing within the scheme of the defense, and huge credit to him. So really happy for him. I'd say the communication. I think it starts with the coaches, with the position coaches kind of figuring out, what they do best and trying to put them in the best positions and taking some players off. And then the players kind of taking ownership amongst themselves, starts with the walkthroughs in practice, them communicating and, overemphasizing, and that just leads to the execution. And, and that's just, you've seen the growth kind of throughout the season, and, continue to do it at a high level. Yeah, I think you'd kind of hope it would kind of play out like this a little bit. We were obviously loved Fisk coming out. You hoped Kobe and BY would continue to what they built on last year. Hoyt, you knew what he would bring, and then kind of hoped what Burst would be exactly what he is. And now just kind of seeing those guys gel together as a unit kind of throughout the season has been pretty fun to be a part of. And we thought in OTAs that we had a chance to be good up front and create some pressure, and definitely had some lumps along the way and some growing pains, and there still will be. But really happy with the growth of those guys and how that unit's developed into.
Can you explain why the communication on the field is so important for
Yeah, it's just it's playing off each other. It's understanding, it's like rushing as a unit. If everybody rushes individually, when you're just trying to win your one-on-one matchup, that's not how it works this day. If you're rushing 4 guys, there's essentially 6 lanes for the quarterback to get through. So when those guys understand, that they can communicate and cover each other up, and understanding where the weaknesses are when we are running stunts and how to cover up those weaknesses. And sometimes, Gift Smith and AC have been all over it, and sometimes the players just got to see it and feel it, to really truly understand. I think it's just constant communication throughout. That's what it's about. Whether it's coming off the practice field in between while the offense is going, just kind of huddling up, just kind of always talking about, sitting there on the iPad. Whether it's as soon as you walk in from practice, just kind of in each other's office. Whether it's just in a Tuesday game plan meeting with just the coaches, you're kind of constantly trying to figure out how to put your players in the best positions and what they do well. Hey, what can we execute? What can we give them? What can we present the offense that may be hard for them but is easy for us? And you're always trying to look at different things like that. So I would just say, any good organization, any good team, any good defense, communication is just never stops. That's between the coaches, that's from players to coaches, that's from coaches to players, and it's just constant throughout, and it'll continue to go as long as we keep rolling. Sorry.
Did you envision Quentin Lake being much of a cornerstone he's been for them? Has he done anything this season that maybe a surprise was maybe something you didn't think?
Huge credit to him for playing every snap. Obviously we got 1 game left, but up to this point, playing every snap for 16 games is such an awesome credit to him. And we did have that vision, Gary. Really after last season, with what he was able to do, moving to the star position and playing like he did and playing safety, we had that, which is why his players, his peers voted him a captain, and we had that vision of being able to kind of move him around and play him wherever we needed to fit the defense. And he's excellent in coverage. He's a physical player. He's obviously really, really smart, and so he's a guy that you can do a lot of different things with. And he wants all that responsibility. He takes a lot of pride in having that responsibility. I don't know if we necessarily envision him, having the green dot all the time, but that's not something that surprises me at all with him. Nothing would surprise me with Quentin Lake. Just an excellent player and even better person.
As a first-year coordinator, what's the process like playing with the team a second time, adjusting to some of the tendencies that they're not only showing against you, but have put on tape since the last time you played them? And what's that strategy process like, just specifically for you as you get deeper and lower into this role?
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. It's kind of the cat and mouse game where, you obviously have that game, you evaluate that game, but they're doing the same thing and they're going to make their adjustments. So you're kind of like, all right, what worked well in that game, but that they're going to be prepared for what worked well in that game. So it's kind of that thing where, that's the fun part of playing a division opponent and playing a great coaching staff like they have. And so we know they're going to make their adjustments. We're going to make our adjustments, and it's almost a guessing game of what adjustments each team is going to make.